Let's understand the transport of lymph. Okay, how does it takes place with the help of a small diagrammatic representation. Now we all know that this particular arteries, okay, arteries bring the oxygenated blood, okay, from the heart to the body. Now when it enters from the heart and comes in contact with the body, the exchange takes place across the capillaries. This is what we have studied. Okay, now across the capillaries the exchange takes place, okay, and then what that particular blood, okay, after the exchange it passes on to the veins, okay, that is the deoxygenated blood, okay, where in the body tissue. So from the heart the arteries bring oxygenated blood, exchange takes place across the capillaries. Okay, now capillaries are the connection between arteries and veins. So arteries bring the oxygenated blood, they branch out to form arterioles, arterioles reunite to form capillaries, the capillaries will form the venules, and then venules will come together to form nothing which is called as a vein, which transport deoxygenated blood from the body again back to the auricle of the heart, specifically saying the right auricle. This is what we have studied. Now here the case is little bit different. We need to understand certain things in this particular region, what is happening over here. Okay, now when the blood is flowing, when the blood is moving, the pressure of the blood is much higher. And due to this particular pressure, there are chances that some of the constituents of the blood may ooze out through the pores which are present in the capillaries. Okay, now when they ooze out, some of the constituents come out from the pores of the capillaries. Where are they coming? Okay, they get deposited in between the cells or the spaces in between the cells. Imagine these green boxes to be the cells. Okay, and the distance between these two cells we call as intercellular space, or the space between these two cells are called intercellular space. So this particular fluid or this particular part of the constituents, okay, because of the pressure will ooze out through the pores of the capillaries, and it will come and get collected in between the spaces of these particular cell. Okay, now this particular fluid gets collected in between the tissue, okay, combination of cell, it's a tissue. Okay, and where? In the space in between the two cells, that is called intercellular space. So this is also called as a tissue fluid, or simply if we say, this is called as the lymph. Okay, lymph is similar to that of the blood plasma. Blood plasma has blood constituents along with some proteins. Okay, but here the situation is different. It is similar to that of blood plasma, but it has 95% of water and very less amount of protein and some blood cells, specifically the white blood cells, and more specifically saying the lymphocytes, okay, which is responsible for giving immune response to the body. Okay, so when the blood moves under pressure, some of the constituents get oozed out from the pores of the capillaries and gets collected in between the space, that is intercellular spaces. Okay, and this is called as tissue fluid or simply lymph, which is similar to the blood, but it does not contain RBC, so it's not red in color. It's whitish in color, or if I say it's little bit pale in color. Okay, it has 95% water, very less amount of protein and white blood cells, specifically the lymphocytes. Okay, now here along with the capillaries, the lymphatic capillaries are also associated with these capillaries. Okay, so this particular lymph will move from here, okay, into something which is called as a lymph vessel. Okay, now if this particular lymph or this particular tissue fluid gets collected here in between the tissues or in the intercellular spaces, that is not good for the body. It may create swelling at certain regions in the body. One such example is elephantiasis or elephant leg, wherein the lymph nodes swell up. Okay, that is because the fluid gets accumulated. Fluid cannot pass on. Okay, and that happens because of some filarial worms. Okay, this we will study in detail in diseases. Okay, so if the lymph gets collected in between the space, that is not good for the body may harm horribly because of that particular fluid collection. So this fluid has to be removed. Removed where? Now this fluid has protein, this fluid has WBCs. Okay, this particular fluid has 95% of water. So it also have to enter into the bloodstream. But it will not enter directly into the bloodstream because it is not in connection with the real artery, real capillary, sorry. Okay, why? Because from the pores of the capillary, the fluid has oozed out. Now this fluid should again go back to the bloodstream. इसको bloodstream में वापस जाना है. Understanding? Okay, similarly the fats which are present in the intestine, okay, that also have to enter into the bloodstream. So that will also enter with the help of Peyer's patches, which is a lymphatic organ which is associated with intestine. Okay, so the lymph will carry the fat, absorbed and digested fat, okay, again back to the bloodstream. What is required will be taken up and what is not required will be removed or expelled with the help of liver and kidneys. Okay, this is what happens. Now for that, this particular lymph, okay, from the intercellular spaces, this particular lymph will enter into its own capillaries. Where is its own capillaries? Its capillaries are associated with the real capillaries. Okay, so in capillaries के साथ में lymphatic capillaries होंगे. Okay, and what will that lymphatic capillaries contain? They will contain the lymph. Okay, so the lymph from the intercellular spaces will enter into the lymphatic capillaries. These lymphatic capillaries will open into lymphatic vessels. And this lymphatic vessels will join to form the veins. And whatever is brought along with the lymph through the vein, it will go back to the bloodstream.